Good luck, both teams.
Rap video.
All right, Bruno. I
Okay.
need to recoup. So you
Yeah.
talk for a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So we see the Nyx assassin ban. We talked about why it was sometimes not the most common ban, but there's something that talks about this. When you're banning the Nyx assassin, it means that maybe, just maybe, you want to split push.
Sure.
Nyx assassin, bounty hunter, heroes that do very very well against split pushers. They can burst you down immediately. So just removing that from the equation gives you more room if you want to go for that Nature's Prophet, for that Tinker if you so desire, maybe for the Keeper of the Light just to have any carry.
I also think it's really good against the carries that Tongfu likes to usually select, Weaver and Dragonite. Mono burning a Dragonite in the middle of team fight means he doesn't do anything aside from his physical right click, which is pretty impressive, but you're not going to get your repetitive stuns. And also against a Weaver, burst damage is kind of his bane. It's a good way to gank against him. So I feel like Tongfu, more than other Chinese teams, don't like this hero, whether he's a support or solo. So it's a very well warranted ban. My question is, why isn't AM banned? Why isn't Spectre banned?
Well, I mean, maybe they want to ban Spectre. Maybe they will say, okay, we just... Because, to be fair, Spectre was not the problem early game. They just forgot to ban him. Sorry,
They forgot to
ban
ban
him. Yes, that as well. But they forgot to just keep track of his gold, of what he was doing. Maybe they just checked the items. Spectre is probably has no items, because that's the other thing. When you know that you're ahead, sometimes deep in your mind you think, oh, they're not getting anything at all.
Right.
And they just forgot, and suddenly a sacred relic, a good team fight out of nowhere, boom, you're lost.
Yep.
If they decide to go, if DK decides to go for the Spectre now, Tongfu will be able to just focus and be more aggressive on that. And maybe Tongfu goes for the Spectre right now, who knows?
Can you tell me what pick was the Spectre last game? Was it like a fourth pick thing? Because I know Lion was the last one.
Spectre was, I think, third or fourth pick.
Okay.
And the Bad Rider skipped through, that's true. And Tongfu will be saying, I'll grab that, sir, because this is a very fun hero to play.
I'd rather rap than play against a Bat Rider if I'm DK.
Really?
That's how bad it is.
Who plays? I think I even saw Sunshine playing the Bad Rider jungle once,
Well,
but I would be expecting Mu to play the Bad Rider.
King J is generally the off lane,
Yeah.
and his performance has not been exactly superb. But Bat Rider is Bat Rider, so he should be able to kind of direct his team. Or if you give it Mu to play solo mid bad, I wouldn't be...
That's another beauty of that hero. He can go to any lane and win 1v1 against pretty much a lot of heroes. I will not say anything, but against a lot of heroes. Or he can go to the jungle and get a Blink Dagger in 9 minutes. So
that's...
DK decides the Visage is the hero of this match. Who had the Visage last game?
It was DK.
DK.
And the surprising loss.
And the other team, the first match, Tongfu had the Visage. So far, whoever gets the Visage
loses?
wins.
Oh
DK,
yeah, sorry.
DK won.
Yeah, DK won last
Yeah.
game. I'm just confused.
So, I mean, a strong support by all means. These teams do not favor rotating their support so much, but they did get the gank on that first game against Kanka, which set everything up. DK says we're going to go for the Lifestealer. Maybe this is an ROTK Lifestealer. Maybe this is not a burning Lifestealer.
Well, as long as it's not an ice Lifestealer.
Yeah, that
okay.
didn't really work so
Here's
well.
the problem. You know Tongfu loves Weaver, and they'll pick it without any questions asked. I don't think Lifestealer is strong enough as a hero to outcarry the enemy team, especially when they have Bat Rider. More importantly, it's not a burning hero. Like, burning can play it, and he plays it very well.
Yeah.
But it's not a Spectre, it's not an AM, it's not one of those, like, farm and just ultra late game carry.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's an RTK Lifestealer.
It better be, because it's not enough.
The Weaver, on the other hand, fits Tongfu perfectly. Hao showed that he's very, very good at that hero. He went for that BKB when maybe he should have gone for a damage item. He tried to play safe, as sometimes Chinese teams do. In this time, it didn't pay off. So they're banning the Rubik right now, and they're banning the tree. The tree, I don't think either Tongfu or DK particularly want to pick that hero, but...
Any possibility of tree ban because they're thinking about Lone Druid?
No, just the Weaver tree. Remember how annoying that
Oh
combination
yeah,
is.
that
It's-
definitely was. Yeah.
Weaver can dive against anyone. Like, he can go 1v3 and just survive because of that living armor.
Good point. Good point.
And the Rubik ban makes me believe that Tongfu might want to go again for that. Sorry, not again. This time they will want to go for the Magnus, because even though Weaver is ranged, so you don't get the cleave from the Empower. Empower is such a good spell, and I think it's being rediscovered as the reason to pick Magnus. It's not about the RP anymore, it's about giving a free item to your carry.
Yeah, we saw that was a big part of Spectre getting the relic as quickly as he did. Was he really the Empower? With that said, I don't think the Magnus, or sorry, you saying DK or Tongfu is gonna pick the mag?
Tongfu.
Tongfu is gonna pick the mag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they need a mag, to be completely honest. I think the Rubik ban is really to protect the Bat Rider. Because really good Rubik player, you blink in, he lifts you before you lasso.
Right.
Because it's instant.
Well, I mean, you can do that with...
But yeah, you make a good point about the Magnus. If they do think about the Magnus pick, that's definitely something to watch out for. Because you RP, he steals it, you skewer, and then he jumps back in and RPG you. So it's somewhat annoying to deal with.
Right. So we have the Lifestealer and the Visage. We're missing one support, and we're missing Moose Hero, surprisingly, and there's no
Dragon Knight yet.
Dragon Knight yet, not banned. And I maybe DK thinking, should we ban the Dragon Knight? It worked very well the first game. It did pretty much what Dragon Knights normally do in the second game. Although I have to say, he got some farm. He got the Shadow Blade. He got more than one would expect.
I feel that Dragon Knight did okay the previous game. Like, he was in the middle of pushes, he was initiating in the team fights. He did what a Dragon Knight was expected to do. It's just that I think the team as a whole didn't do much. So I really don't think it's a DK. But DK will select the DK themselves, and this is going to be super playing the DK. And again, I hope that it's not going to be a burning and lifestealer, or if it is, they got to play it really aggressive. Weaver dance circles around all of these heroes.
Yep.
There's not enough stuns right now. Dragon Knight is a very reliable stun, but aside from that, it's just not going to be enough. So I want to see a support that could do a ton of stunning, whether it's going to be a line once again from MMY. It worked out fine last game. It wasn't the highlight of the game.
No, I think they could get away with the Lion just because everyone was playing so greedy that he could just afford pulling and doing some fun stuff.
Not this game.
Not this game, because this game we will probably see more action in the laning stage, and that's where Lion becomes very weak. The Voodoo is it Voodoo? No, Voodoo is the Shadow. Well, the Hex, you know?
Yes, yeah.
It's not particularly good in early levels, and the Earth Spike deals measly damage and stands for fractions of a second at level 1.
Right. The big thing is it does give you an instant way to cancel the blink initiation of Bat Rider. He blinks and you hex him. It's very similar to the telekinesis, so depending on how good the Lion player is, if they're thinking about that, it's not bad. Also, Sankey is going to get selected by Tongfu. I feel that this is both a pick and also a counter pick to DK. They take it away because, again, Sankey is another hero that has an instant stun in the form of a Burrow Strike. You really want to pick up as many instant stuns as possible when you're dealing with hero and like Bat Rider and Weaver. There's a Lion pickup here by MMY. 2 games in a row. I don't think this is going to be a solo mid Lion, but hey.
No.
It's going to be a support one.
It's going to be a support Lion. And actually, if you think of the Lifestealer Visage Lion as an offensive tri-lane, do you think it can work? I'm not sure.
I think Lion has too worse. His stats are too poor to make that work. His harassment damage, his animation is quite weak, and that's why we don't. That's really the biggest reason why we don't see him solo mid. Like you said, his early game damage with Impale is fairly low, and as an offensive kind of support, if you make that one go, and you don't make it work, Lion doesn't have enough mana anymore. Because Hex at level 2 as well as Impale level 1 costs a ton of mana. So I don't think it's going to be it, or if it does come to be that, I don't think it's going to work out.
It's going to be really complicated, but now that means I just feel that DK is drafting themselves into a corner of having Burning play the Lifestealer.
Well, I mean, maybe that's what they wanted.
Maybe that's what they want, but why now? Why all of a sudden they just go for Lifestealer when you clearly said this is not a Burning hero? Of course he can play, he probably can carry with a Vengeful Spirit if he so wants, but having other heroes in the pool, suddenly this is not a Spectre game anymore?
Yeah, it still can be. I mean, at the worst, Lifestealer could just go off lane and solo it up. Like, it still can be.
YYF does that a lot, but he's YYF, right? He's not ROTK.
Well, I think RTK can do it too. I'm actually, RTK is one of my favorite players in China. But in any case, just for anybody that's joining us in the Alien World Cup right now, sponsored by Alienware and MasterCard. This is game number 3. 2 teams tied up, and this is essentially the elimination match of either team. Loser goes home with $3,000 of prize money, and then the winner gets to stay alive, and they play IG.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's either going to be a Tongfu IG matchup or a DK IG matchup. I'm personally hoping for the DK IG, so we get a little bit more TI2 storylines.
Yeah.
Because that's what we had back in TI2.
We
but
will have exactly the same 4 teams.
Really?
Yeah.
LGD
It was DK was 4th, LGD China was 3rd, and Navi was 2nd, and IG was... at the same time,
Can we script it?
I will feel a little bit sad, because it would feel like in the storyline sense, the Dota didn't change at all. There were no new contenders, that the guys were the strongs, are still strong.
Well,
And the
Alliance is not here.
Alliance is not here.
Kaipi is not here. They're going to go
No,
to
Kaipi
TI4.
is not here.
Exactly,
TI
so-
44? Is that?
No, road to TI4.
Okay, 44.
Don't hate on my boy MV that much.
Hey, yo.
TI4, not 44.
Time.
All right, we're back here. We're gonna see Nature's Prophet. So what?
Okay, no, it's fine. It's a jungle / offlane Nature's Prophet, the defensive tri-lane with a Lifestealer Visage Lion and mid Dragon Knight.
Okay.
And then from the other side, we have a Weaver that can probably go solo if she so
Weaver solo beats all of these heroes.
Yes,
All of these heroes.
all of these heroes and more.
Yeah. So
And then you have Sun King as Jakiro are not that bad as roaming supports.
they're not that bad. They're not that good either. I think they're mostly gonna stick to polling. Bat Rider is. Oh my God. Is this a Spectre game? Apparently it is.
And it's a house Spectre.
Yeah.
It's a Moo Weaver mid.
Solo mid. Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter who you put mid. It's
Yeah.
going to beat the DK. King J is going to be playing offlane Bat Rider, and you're going to have your dual support. Banana playing Jakiro, and Shanshan playing the support. I don't think anybody expected it. A Spectre.
I just don't see DK beating Tongfu with that lineup.
Well, I do believe there's a big opening, because how he likes to play with the team quite a bit. You see it in his Weaver play. But he's playing it with a Spectre, and there's a ton of early game pressure and pushing heroes on DK.
Yeah, but think about it. Lifestealer is going to the tri-lane is going to face a Bat Rider. The Bat Rider can survive there. Probably will not get much.
Right.
Probably can say, I drop that lane, I go straight to the jungle.
Sure.
He can still get something. Then Weaver will destroy the Dragon Knight mid. And the Nature's Prophet will have to go to the jungle because he can't definitely face a Sun King, Spectre, Jakiro tri-lane. As weak as it sounds, you're a Nature's Prophet. You have no escape mechanism. So that Prophet jungling, not the fastest jungler in the game. He will
Definitely
have to
not.
go
Yeah.
for something. If he goes Midas, that Midas will go online maybe at 10 minutes. If he decides to rush a mech, then the Midas is even more delayed. And I don't know, I just feel that Tongfu beats in the laning phase, and Tongfu shown that when they win the laning phase, they're pretty strong.
We're going to see offensive trialing from DK.
Wow.
That's definitely something that we expect. I mean, I've definitely seen it from Burning in the past when he goes Alchemist. But Alchemist and Lifestealer, I think Lifestealer is a kind of a worse in terms of offensive trialing.
I don't like the Lifestealer Visage combination because you want the burst damage for the Visage to have the soul
I mean,
assumption.
exactly. The burst damage is coming out from line, which is not exactly...
It's a stun.
yeah, it's a stun.
It's a stun and right clicks because Hex does no damage at all.
So it's asking so much from your harass. And again, it's one of those lanes that, like, when you ask me, do you think that Lion could go offensive tri lane? He just doesn't have enough monopool to actually make it
they
work.
found
Looks like
super
they're
mid
gonna
ga-
yeah, super should be fine, but those napalm stacks are actually slowing them down.
No,
Shanshan's
he's
going to get a Burrow Strike, and that's going to be first blood. Who picks it up? It's going to be Chikaro.
Oh, they can get
ROTK decides
ROTK.
to stay and fight. You need to get the hell out. Ice Path is going to hit
nice
on
Ice
him.
Path.
And I'm not sure why Tongfu decides to not to chase. Maybe they're afraid of burning, kind of backstabbing and making things a little bit difficult. I really think they could have killed the ROTK as well. But first blood getting missed on the mid lane here. And of course, he's going to miss at least a wave or so of a CS as well.
And if it wasn't hard enough to play DK mid, it's going to be much harder right now.
Yeah.
That he starts with a wave of disadvantage.
And Moo's going to be on the Bat Rider as well. Of course.
Mo is going to be in a bad rider, so there was a little bit of a swap here. King J is going to be playing the Weaver that has weird wings. That's a cosmetic that feels out of place.
Yeah, but in any case, my attention is going to be on how on this particular lane. I do believe DK have to win this lane so hard, and they're not going to win it so hard because Spectre has a poor man shield, has a ton of regen, and more importantly, they got a little bit of a first blood action on the bot lane. Did you see who picked it up?
Yeah,
Jakiro.
banana.
Yeah, Jakiro, so he's going to get quick hurry upgrades, a quick magic stick. I think is what he should pick up next because that's gonna make him so tanky in this particular lane.
And he holds to one of the observer wards. He has it with him. Probably wants to place it aggressive, just next to where the river meets the lane. Just to check to see if the supports go there. How getting a little bit harassed, but as I said before, just now 2 stacks of soul assumption, but after the whole thing was over, so...
Ooh, they're gonna make a go right now, open wound, and they're gonna focus on Impale. Where's Impale? There's Impale, finally, Soul Assumption, but Burrow Strike comes in, and MMY in bigger trouble. They're now gonna focus on Shansheng. Shansheng does not have Sandstorm. It's gonna be dead. MMY should be fine. Ice Path coming off cooldown, and he wants to turn around for the Impale. He does get one off before he dies. They're gonna get a second kill. ROTK now focusing on how they want to turn on how they are gonna get a kill on how. Meanwhile, Trap on the right side, Burning just cleans up. Suddenly, DK 3 kills with ROTK TPing in. And he TPing in to get kills, not to feed.
Well, I mean, Visage and Lion, maybe not the strongest of tri-lanes, but if you add the Furion to the put, suddenly you have a little bit more right click. I'm still not convinced. I think this was a Tongfu misplay, to be honest. They went way too greedy, and they end up paying a very hard price. Burning now level 3, 727 gold. He can go for an armlet rush if he so desires, but probably will want to get some boots first just to keep doing what they did and work.
Yeah, I don't think it was too greedy. I mean, the Spectre was initiated upon, right?
No,
and
no,
the Sankey came in.
The Spectre could have daggered the other way and just go through the trees.
And run?
And run.
Yeah. But she daggered towards the enemy.
Yeah, exactly. She went aggressive daggering because that sounded wrong. Aggressive dagger because he just wanted to go to fight, and that was not the right call.
Well, it definitely did not work out well for them as Tongfu now down by 1 kill, and the gold graph is slightly reflecting that. M1 trying to get a little bit of a creep steal, not going to be successfully doing so. We haven't been watching the top lane too much, but it seems like King J is actually having a ton of trouble here. RTK slightly higher level thanks to the gank on the bot lane. And in terms of CS output, he's out farming at Weaver, and he's left the lane.
You know, the problem when you're a Weaver is, first of all, those treants are quite tanky, especially when you're... And you're a range hero, you might have a Basilius, but you don't have a Stout Shield.
Yep.
So that 22 damage is always 22 damage. It's just drop the treants on that guy, and you zone him out of the lane. Especially when he's playing off lane. So it's actually not the worst lane possible for a Nature's Prophet. I think Weaver should be performing a little bit better, but ROTK is playing clever.
Yeah, King Jace should take over the lane once he's at level 4, especially level 5. Once that Gemini attack gets online and proccing more, you should be actively Sakuchiing and get onto ROTK's
yeah, but look at the trends. They're going...
Yeah, but you could Sakuchi, away from that. And
what?
No, Sakuchi towards the Prophet, get a little bit of damage in, right-click him a couple of times, and juke back and forth. You shouldn't be just running straight away. I don't think King J is playing this matchup perfectly. That's why he's losing the lane. Meanwhile, speaking of lanes being lost, Super is, 26 and 2 to 11. That's why you don't do DK solo mid. Or that's why you don't give away bat. But here comes DK here. As we
Super, 7 stack.
7 freaking stack. He is so gone right now. The sun comes in. Yeah. Flame break? Or maybe not. The slow comes in. The flame break comes in as well. They are going to get 1 kill, but the tire's going to come out as well. Mu is low. Mu's going to go down. I think you take that trade. Everybody's here. QQQ is going to go down as well. How? Not in his lane. Joining the fight. ROTK teleported in as well. Wow.
Why not, right?
And Burning does what Burning does best. It's like, yeah, team fight going on. I'm going to farm.
I'll just farm. It's okay. I mean, he really needs the farm. He went for an Orb of Venom, which is a bit of an unusual pick on the lifestealer, at least not the most common of picks, but it really makes sense here against a Spectre, just making her slower, making her hesitate about trading hits with you, just because if you get the open wounds and that, you can change pretty much forever. But yeah, I think this was a good trade for Tongfu in the end of it, and the grid paid off. Super went too much, but now how in the mid lane? And what will the Bat Rider do? Will he go back or will he just transition into jungle?
I think jungling is, or maybe he was just holding the lane for a little bit. No, dagger. Oh my goodness, it missed. Flame break's gotta hit though. If they hit the, no, they don't, and that should be it. Line comes around as well. Back and forth they go. It is a targeted spell, right?
How did you?
How
I mean,
miss?
To be fair, no. If you target the spell ends on the target.
That's cool. That's fine.
If you throw it on the ground, it keeps going, which might be useful for whatever
for
reason.
chasing.
Yeah,
all that stuff. That's fine. That's a fair point.
But yeah,
it should have just been a straight up dagger targeted. But it's all good. Tongfu to two supports somewhat lost. It's like, hey guys, our carry's not here. Do we farm now?
Well, why not, right? The thing is that if Burning goes on us, what can we do? That Burning can solo kill the Jakiro.
Yeah, his open wounds is fairly low, but if
oh,
it gets
he's
face
going.
boots,
Yeah,
that's
of
it.
course.
Banana. Uh-oh, here we go. He's waiting for the rage. Nice turnaround here by Banana. And let's see if he can wait out that rage.
Oh,
nice magic stick. The rage is shit. Wow.
Nice banana.
That may seem so small, but like it is so beautiful to see it work out. QQQ on the run here. A Burrow Strike hit, and it is going to cool down right now. What a juke by 357. And they're going to turn it around. Flame Brick's going to help out here. They need a stun. The Flame Breath, one more hit. ROTK, what a player. Moo's going to be there as well. And Burning is here. Great play here from DK. Offensive trialing working out. I mean, we expected DK to not do well for all the reasons you listed. Prophet not going to do well early. Burning not playing the Burning hero. And of course, DK is on DK. You know, they're actually winning.
They're actually winning. And after this fight, they're winning quite convincingly. They're putting pressure on this tier 1 tower. And they will be able to take it. Well, now Banana rotates to hell. But it's just a level 4 Jakiro. I'm not sure if he by himself can do it. Now the Vat Rider comes. And the Vat Rider is not having the best of games.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, he still needs 1400 for the Blink Dagger. And once that Blink Dagger comes into play, things might be different. But for now, Spectre is being a Spectre. And nothing's going on the way. What about the Weaver, by the way? King J.
King J's got one less CS than our Nature's Prophet, who's been ganking like every other. Like RTK is actually playing really well. Let's be honest.
He's been
3-0-1 off the lane. He's got a Midas.
Yeah.
Yeah. RTK is carrying this game here for our RTK haters out there. And yeah. I mean, I don't think King J's playing his A game. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, they're going to focus on Burning. Burning infests into a melee creep, so he's going to survive as well. What a player.
He's going very, very good. But I'm trying to think what Tongfu should do here. Maybe there's a point for lane rotation. Maybe they want to go. Oh,
well, they're going to actually stun on Burning. The Ice Path's going to follow through as well. Burning
sign.
did not have Rage. I'm not too sure why. Not sure whether it's going to buy back either. How, though? Going to get focused right under the tower. And they are going to get the kill. Maybe. Nice magic stick as well as Poor Man's Shield. A ton of plays here. And what about King J?
King J was there. He was killed because he tower died with 200 HP. And now Jakiro.
Jakiro's going to go down. So I'm not too sure what King J... Oh, the dagger's going to come through.
Not going to be enough.
Uh-oh. Are we going to see ROTK making some plays? ROTK?
No.
No.
He's
didn't.
going for the run. Yeah, he didn't realize, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, House survived kind of magically there. The Weaver suicided in the most ridiculous of ways. He just tower died with 200 HP against a Lion and someone else. That was just right click to death. There was nothing he could do about it. So ROTK now taking control of this. Sansheng praying for that level 6. Maybe he can get a good epicenter that can change this history of this game. And Spectre going for drums and face boots. Because Radiance, with this start, it's going to be hard. Mu on the other hand, we get the stun on ROTK. Will ROTK down this time? I think he's dead.
Yeah, he's got Flame Break, he's got Flying Vision. There's no way that ROTK can self-sprout.
Use a Midas.
Yeah, it does. Hey, you should use your Midas. Really good, well played, because you definitely don't want to leave that thing on cooldown. Meanwhile, a couple of smoke hero here for DK side. Maybe trying to bait a TP with super focusing on the tower, and then immediately everybody jumping on that particular hero and even bringing down that tower.
Well, Lion is level 6, so whoever they decide to go on. Now with the Finger of Death and the level 4 Soul Assumption, you can pretty much...
Yeah, it's an instant kill.
Yeah.
So King J perhaps in a little bit of trouble.
I don't know, man.
You get a Hex onto him.
If he gets the Hex, he's dead.
Yeah.
He has no time lapse also.
Oh,
yeah,
Dust Hex. And he's running really fast. They got the Impel.
No,
why? This is a game of a missed-targeted stuns, or missed-targeted spells, as we have Spectral Dagger being missed, Sand King Burrow Strike being juked, then Impale being missed after...
King J is going to be fun. He time-lapse, he's going back to the lane. Now he's TPing bottom, and he's going to say, okay, I'm going to try and annoy a little bit Burning, because, as we said before, Weaver does pretty well against Lifestealer.
Finally, mid lane here, Mu finds his Blink Dagger, finds Super, the Burrow Strike comes through, and Spectre right there to try to best the chaos. What a nice Flame Breaker. And Super will get the kill. So, generally, when Blink Dagger is being picked up on Bat Rider, he's one of the most dangerous hero on the map. I really think that he gets like the Superman status or the Batman status once he finishes the 4-staff. That's when you get the one-way Vengeful Spirit initiation.
Right.
It makes it so hard to, no matter where you stay, actually, you're just gonna get initiated on and killed. He's not there yet, but with the Blink Dagger up, he could find that Force Staff a lot easier.
I'm thinking about Banana right now. It's like, I'm in the worst position in the world. People, they will destroy that tower and they will come to buy TPs, and I'm hidden there in the secret shop. Please, someone help me. Moo, do something. They do not do anything. Banana is praying for his life. They decide to go the other way. Banana is safe, but when he goes out, if he goes out now, there's an observer ward.
He has a TP scroll. Like, he could just use that and go home, but like, he's just...
But TP scroll is hard to get when you're a support.
Alright, he just walks out there. Lucky that nobody was there. Meanwhile, King J is still continuing to farm away. Why does King J have no items?
Because he was against Nature's Prophet that was dominating him on the lane.
What's going on, guys?
Why that was happening, well, that's another question. Now they will take another quick tier 1 tower, and they will quickly rotate to bottom to farm against that Weaver again. ROTK, mech completed, almost. Well, he has the money.
And now DK is going to be rotating to the bot lane, or at least attempting to do so. I mean, even if they don't find this Weaver kill, which they won't because he TP'd out, they're going to get a tier 1 tower, which to me, tier 1 tower at this point of game is going to be a lot more important. Arcane Boot's going to get put up on QQQ.
They know they're in the jungle because they saw the courier come and deliver something. They couldn't see them because they were smoked, but now that information is almost... Oh, look at that, how they dodge each other unbelievably.
Oh my goodness. I'm not too sure who's going to win that team fight. I think Tongfu might have if... It's a very close quarter fight, and Jakiro gets all of his spells off. Jakiro critically does not have Macro Power at level 6. Initiation is going to come in right now. Move misses. Too short of a jump. Swarm's going to actually slow everybody down, and it's going to be a retreat. ROTK, of course, trying to TP in front of 5. Nobody's actually there, but Blink Dagger's cooling down in about a couple seconds. And of course, it's going to be on RTK. The Han's going to come down there. Nice Ice Path. It's going to be hitting on everybody. They're going to focus on RTK, but he was just baiting. What a player. He's got the mech. MMY comes in. They do dust on King J. King J, of course, runs back home. Runs away. He's got second Sakuchi. He's gonna get stunned. The sun's gonna find through here. He's gonna get sprouted, and of course, Flame Breath, as well as Infest's gonna burst him down. Meanwhile, Banana in big trouble as well. Can they get the second Grave Chill coming in? There's gonna Grave Chill.
ROTK, of course. Why
ROTK. The myth.
The man.
The legend.
Enough said.
And of course, everyone goes down.
Yep. DK. Looking that they're going to take this. Apparently they have no answer to this lineup with ROTK.
ROTK on the one row carry.
Yes. And Burning is like, yo, I'm chilling.
Man, is this the new DK? Is this the new meta?
Apparently.
Yeah, man.
It worked better than the first one, so
yeah.
They have to be happy about that. Moo wants to jump, doesn't have lasso.
Yeah,
so
and he doesn't have enough allies, at least right now. He is thinking about the jumps.
Tower is gone. Will they deny? No. King J just walks around.
5,000 goldie for DK, and then the map gets somewhat opened up. They can start working towards Roshan as well. We do see a drum spill coming from a Spectre.
Oh.
Doesn't have it finished.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. He's level 8. I feel like he's so under level in the fact that he can't really even kill support. If you look at the...
Well, the Lion is level 8.
Yeah.
The Visage is level 8.
So that's the issue, right?
ROTK, my man, is level 11.
He's your man now.
He's my man now.
Okay.
Right. Switch size. No, but I mean, you have to admit
he's playing really well.
Like, no, he's playing really lucky. His TPs are very, very high risk, high reward.
Look, he's TPing in because he knows he's got mech, man. he wants some to jump on him so he can mech and be like, yo, guys, gotcha.
I was just messing with you.
Yeah, Super sitting at 2,300 gold. You know the game is going really well when your DK is not forced to get a Bracer and then into your Ogre Club. I call it forced because you want to start with a Shadow Blade. And Super is going to be a lot more effective with that Shadow Blade.
Yes.
And of course,
there's an medallion on the Visage.
Yep.
That sounds like Roshan.
Time to Rosh, yep.
Time to Rosh. Visage is actually pretty happy. He has Arcane Boot. He has lots of mana. He can use a lot of Soul Assumptions every single time.
Rosh is actually somewhat dangerous against a Bat and a Spectre, but I feel like they're ahead enough to
They
take
can
that
just
risk.
outmuscle them
Yeah.
at this point.
I mean, again, Spectre's level 8. Lion's level 8. So we haven't seen that finger into a Soul Assumption combo instantly just yet, but gonna keep my eye on it on these upcoming team fights.
I don't think DK is completely out of this, because last time I think Tongfu was in a similar situation, and then there was the Radiance, there was the turnaround. Of course, this is no Vanguard Radiance Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a Spectre, if you get late enough, there might be a difference. You still have a Weaver, he can get something, and a Vat Rider, even though he's not the greatest damage dealer, it's 4-second disable on the life stealer at late game, and that might be all you need.
So I think there's a key and I agree with you. Spectre, if it goes late enough, it will carry you. I feel like there is two key difference in this game. DK is playing a lot more aggressively than Tongfu was last game when they had the advantage. And I'm pretty sure they have enough damage output now to start taking the Roche. Definitely, especially with the Visage Medallion. Secondly, they have a lot more burst damage to work with things like Wrath of Nature, Flame Breath, Finger, Soul Assumption. Even if there's Spectre Radiance, they're going to take some magical damage, but they could burst him down a lot more effectively and a lot more efficiently than Tongfu could have had. Tongfu had Doom, which is a fine spell, but it's not insane burst. And lastly, there's not insane team fight like RP on Tongfu. There's no Empower.
There's no power.
Yeah, to
That's
use as well.
important.
Yeah, so all of these factors says, you know, Spectre is still available, but I just don't think Spectre is going to find quick enough farm. And you can see that Roshan easily goes down to DK. No challenge from Tongfu. And
I think Burning gets the age, it's just because he's burning and he's like, I'm gonna get it. But ROTK.
it should have been our RTK ages,
yeah,
let's be
it's like,
honest.
I deserve this, I'm gonna take these ages. Sorry, Burning, but you're not the main guy right now.
Yeah. I mean, Bernie's going to be going for Sange, or is he going to go for race car build?
He can go for
Whatever he wants.
yeah. Yeah, I think race car. Race car will be fine.
And race car sounds cool. But yeah, as
As
a
to ROTK, I want to see this.
what's ROTK doing?
ROTK, just jump on whoever. No, not there.
Showing up creeps.
Oh, he cancelled. Now he
ROTK.
ROTK.
ROTK, you're also not using your Midas.
Jesus, ROTK.
You're killing me, ROTK.
Oh, maybe top lane. Super will.
Is
just
it a
be there.
bait?
Is it a bait? Moo wants to jump. Says like, no. This
Come
is
on,
too easy.
ROTK.
Yeah, it is a bait. Get the Midas used. There you go. Now I'm happy he used the Midas. The rotation of the other people, but I mean they have to know there's something wrong. Tongfu sees no one in the map and says, well, we're going to push the mid lane.
That sounds like a bad time to push the mid lane. Hey guys, everybody's missing. Let's go mid. But ROTK is at top now, showing himself. Here comes Super as well. That flame is somewhat difficult to push against. I say that they're going on that tier 2 tower, like no questions asked.
And the tower is going to fall really, really fast, and that's the beginning of a siege. No, actually it's the second tier 2 tower. So only the mid one left. They can actually defend the mid tier 1 tower.
And of course here comes ROTK trying to sprout that Spectre. Spectre just walks back out.
It's fine.
Yeah, here's also the big difference between Hao and Burning is that he doesn't have CS. Last game when we were watching Burning 20 minutes in, he had over 100 CS. Right now he's farming neutrals and he's nowhere near that point. But with that said, he's up to 2k gold, so I don't want to count Tongfu out just yet. This might be another comeback late game Spectre victory.
It could be. I mean, with Spectre it can always be. The problem is you need to start getting some of those tier 1 towers, and by any means you can't get the enemy to deny them. The amount of gold that you lose by denies, and now it's going to be denied as I say that.
Yeah.
The amount of gold that you lose for every single one of the denies is so much that you can't afford that.
I believe is you lose 164 per hero.
Oh,
I'm
You will
learning
be
my tower goal
you will
math.
be correct. You better learn.
I'm gonna be the caster with the most
No
knowledge about the tower goal because lessons are painful sometimes.
Yeah. Well, but lessons are for there.
Yeah.
Why do we fall? To learn how to stand up.
Yeah.
Michael Caine said that. But
Man. What a beautiful phrase.
Yes. Anyways, Burning. 1,000 gold, an orb of venom. Just go Scatty. That would be fun. I think we can go whatever.
Burning Scotty on Lifestealer.
Burning Scatty. I mean, burning.
He sold the orb
Scatty
though.
is cold. You know, it's like the clash of the elements.
Oh my god,
I'm not making any more sense, am I?
man! Like it's been such a long day of casting.
Yeah.
Longer for me because I'm sitting here and casting all of these games.
Oh, are you complaining now?
I'm not
Lumi?
complaining.
Oh, that's much better. King J in the middle of creeps. He's trapped by a lot of. I can't even click him. God damn it! Where are you? Huh. He has a bracer, which is a very important item if you want
Is
life.
What is King J buying? He's like got no gold.
He's got no gold. They're going to lose that final tier how much of an investment is it to try to take this tier 1 tower? At least they're taking it. Look, they all get 264, 401 for Hao, and they lost the tier 2 tower. There's a macro pyre trying to stop the push. Because
That's not bad, actually.
No, it kind of works until they pop the mech.
Yep. And here comes the tier 3. Ice Path is going to be on top.
We got a King J pause.
We call it something else. We should call it something else. But Hao checking on his goal, 2,800 goal. I feel like this is one of those games that if Hao wins a team fight right now, right in front of the base, I'm not sure how he's going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like...
but if he wins a team fight right now...
He gets the Radiance gold, well, the Relic gold at least.
And the game will get a lot more interesting. But,
yeah, about that.
It could happen.
Killing a Narmlet burning...
Unfortunately, he just used Spectral Dagger.
Oops. Sorry.
Tusky Hatred, good job.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he just used a Spectral Dagger, so that's a decent sized nuke that they won't have in this team fight. Bird's now focusing, Dragon's now focusing on the tier 3 tower. It's still alive right now. Spectre.
Maybe they can win by a good Sunshine epicenter.
No, they were gonna back off, so hey, defense successfully.
Great. Now, Hao, keep farming.
Yeah, he's farming away.
Don't miss last hits, please. Don't stop missing last hits.
All right, he's got 1 out of 4.
Oh,
all right. 3,100 gold. I'm gonna just keep on the counter on him. DK, of course, had the Aegis. He is gonna be going for the race car build, by the way, on burning. And
I like that. In this situation, at least, I like this. I would have preferred the Scary. Why be fast when the other guy can be super slow? But whatever, Roxy's world, I guess. How? 3.3k gold. 3 point.
You know what would be really bad in this game? Yeah. Like if DK like gets a really good initiate and they start team fighting, and ROTK TPs next to like the fountain.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And then dies.
That would help.
And then the game just miraculously turns around for Tongfu. By the way, ROTK is close to a hex because he's playing like a boss. But
right. Have you ever watched? Okay, there's a team fight apparently coming. No, maybe. We'll see if they can defend. Mu has a blink dagger, has a force staff, can pick someone off. I think DK knows that, and that's why they're playing extra careful. They're trying to go on Hao. Hao smartly runs away. ROTK trying to guess the TP location. He just TPs mid because he can.
Hao needs to sell his GG branch right now and go big.
Yeah, Aegis is going to expire.
I think he's trying to save for buyback, but no, forget that. Forget the buyback. Macro Pie being used, Ice Path on the mid lane here to defend, and all those creeps are gone. Swarm's gonna come in. They're doing a very good job turtling and holding. But Hao is not actually getting too much CS. He should be on the bot lane right now and take advantage of his team's really good base defense.
There's a Observer and Sunshine saw it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a sentry. Will he buy one? Maybe he's asking Banana. And Banana's like, no, I bought the last ones. I don't want to do it this time. But with that Observer, they have the vision that they need so that Sunshine cannot initiate. And there comes the sentry.
DK forms down to about half duration, so if they just withstand themselves like about 25 more seconds with things like Ice Path, Spectral Dagger, Hao's still missing CS. Can't hit CS to save his lives.
Well, he has 3.8k now, so he has money for a relic.
He's saving for buyback. If he dies in buyback, they lose. Like there's just no way. No. So I think he just buy the relic now. Again, another TP being forced out back on ROTK.
Yeah.
Another successful defense. Is Tongfu actually in this game?
They're not out of the game, but
they're down by 12.
They're in the window looking to
looking in. Okay, that's fair.
But the thing is, have you ever watched a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie?
What did they tell you? If you start with the phrase of, have you ever seen?
Yeah, exactly. You probably haven't. Now, Jean-Claude Van Damme is this guy, I think he's Belgian. I'm not entirely sure. But he used to have these movies where he was the, how do you call it? Like a martial artist. I don't know. I think he did kickboxing or something like that. And he would go and play against the Asians. And there was always this big Chinese or Japanese, depending on the movie, big guy. And he was always the great white hope. And Hao feels like that at this moment. I know Hao is not Belgian.
How is he the great white hope?
But I mean, he's like the hope of all the team. The only one that can make something happen if he gets that relic. If he gets one more K gold, he can actually be the guy that will beat the odds. And all the rest of the people are just like the secondary cast of the movie, trying to hold on to him, cheer for him, and entertain the bad guys getting beaten by the bad guys until Hao finally gets what he needs. Team wipes, gets the throne, and gets the girl.
I'm not sure if that's a good movie.
Oh, dude, all
Oh no, not that movie. I'm not sure whether that movie was a good analogy.
Well, maybe.
Because right now the movie I see in this game is a comedy. I'm watching like Rush Hour right now.
Okay.
Burning is freaking Jackie Chan, and his main man Chris Tucker is playing ROTK, and they're about to
get super.
You go left, I go right. Hunt back out here is how he's gonna go back to the mid lane, and he's gonna get a kill on Dragonite. What is Super doing there? As they're setting up a 2-man gank. What is going on with this game right now?
I was looking at Super. Super was actually farming and probably with his camera looking at the top because he didn't see the Bad Rider count. Bad Rider blinked, pulled him away with 4 stuff. Bam. Hao said, that's my line to just jump there. And now, almost Radiance time. And I mean, I have to say, 26-minute Radiance in this kind of game, it's not bad.
It's impressive, actually. Because he got a drums first, so it's not like he straight rushed for it. And so I was saying, hey, DK's going to be a lot more aggressive, right? They took the Aegis, right? So they're going to win, right?
Right? It's all about our OTK is on cooldown, I think.
What?
Our OTK, he is on cooldown. He's just like strolling around, farming, waiting for the next ROTK big things he's going to do.
He's got the Hex, so he can now TP behind everybody and Hex somebody and die.
Keeping on with the analogies, ROTK is kind of like, you know, these games that have a certain race. And sometimes it's a goblin, sometimes it's a dwarf. That they have these spells that are really, really good, but sometimes they have a chance of going completely wrong. That's ROTK's teleport. He can win a team fight by himself. Sometimes he can just jump into the fountain. Wow. Gets the Radiance. Yep. It's go time.
Well, I don't want to say call it go time. It's more like defending the base for 20 more minutes time. But is there any reason DKs don't push with this Aegis?
Well, do they have... Oh, the Aegis that they're getting right now. Well, it's hard to say. The thing is, if Lifestealer pops the rage early for some reason, and he gets initiated, he can be killed twice before he can pop a second rage.
Okay.
And there's lots of tick damage, damage over time from Jakiro mainly, and from the Radiance as well, even Sandstorm if it's necessary. So armlet toggling is not an option.
Right.
Having said that, you still have Mu, which has actually nothing really, has no damage. And yeah, you have ROTK, which has a shipstick. But if you can neutralize Burning for some reason, then suddenly DK is not in a position where they can fight, especially against a Spectre, which the longer the team fight goes, the more damage you receive. This is not pretty. And DK want to be exactly and 100% sure, because at this point, I mean, it's not like DK is going to lose if they lose a team fight. But look at the towers in the map. I'm pretty sure that Tongfu can get 2, maybe 3 towers if this win.
If they win team fight.
And getting 3 towers, how much gold is that?
Wow, is that a top question? Well, it's 264 times 4, depending on the hero last sitting.
It's about a lot.
Yeah,
I would say maybe 4k gold difference, and you don't want that 4k gold difference.
Also, it really depends on when DK is pushing whether Spectre has buyback, because it's a different story when your Spectre buybacks and hunts back in after a team fight, and they like wasted things like Finger of Death and all these other like your Hex or whatever on Hao. So right now they're going up top, and he's not close to a buyback goal just yet. But in fact, they're actually thinking about moving out of the base and start playing a little bit more active.
Oh, look at RTK! Oh, he almost does an RTK kind of thing.
No, ROTK doesn't TP into the darkness and dies. He TPs into 4 of them, knowing that they're there, and then dies.
That would have been so close. There's a quick rotation, they're all TPing me, they're going to defend, they say, okay, these guys are going to push, or at least there is farm here. Now, if you're Hao, do you turn off your Radiance so that you don't push the lane?
No.
I've seen a team,
you see somebody? MTW?
MTW, before TI2, there was this super long 70-minute game.
So they turned off Radiance?
They turned it off Radiance. I think it was, it was one that James casted actually.
So the logic was to not use the Radiance push and last hit?
Exactly, so you could get more last hits just by controlling the lane closer to
Do you get more last hits though in reality?
Yeah, if you're good with last hitting, yeah.
Well, as in like, sure you get the same amount of last hits, or you see the same amount of creeps.
You push less. You push less.
I think you want to push a little bit more so you could jungle, right?
Well, it was not enough.
Wasn't that those kind of games where you're like this, like you pinned in like that?
No, yeah, it was one of the exactly, and it was like a 40k goal difference.
Okay,
so
okay.
it was completely. They couldn't get out of the.
Okay, fair enough.
To paint a picture, the same team that had the Spectre had a Chen. They had 3 center crypts. That the center crypts were patrolling around the base for 20 minutes because there's nothing they can do. And all the Chen did was standing in one lane, the lane of the Spectre, and
test of faith.
Sending crypts back to the base to avoid pushing the lane.
Wow, that's hardcore.
That's so meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't work. However, how? He has buyback gold. Yes. He has just a little bit of reliable gold though, so it's not much. They did get one tier 1 tower. The mid tier 1 tower is almost backdoorable, but do you want to get close to that one? Because ROTK can jump with lifestealer and can kill you anywhere if you go solo. So you will probably have to push with 5, and if you push with 5, then you get a 5.
Wait, so you're saying if you backdoor the tier 1 tower,
ROTK will jump on you with lifestealer
you not only get the tier 1 tower, you also get ROTK on top as a bonus?
with a lifestealer on top of it, which
That's a double bonus.
well, I don't know. I think that even
It's
if
Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
Chris
Just go
Tucker-
for.
That's a very fun image. Next time I see Verning, I'll have to figure him out as Jackie Chan. Banana, on the other hand, he's getting lots of gold for a support, and I wish some of that gold was going to the Sun King, because he only has 1k, and he desperately needs that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I think this is a situation where you skip the arcane boots and you just go blink. Epicenter's not going to be too effective in terms of damaging source. It's going to be decent against Nature's Prophet because he's not going to be getting a BKB anytime soon. It's also fairly nice to apply slow and the Rage, Lifestealer, Dragonite, and all that stuff.
Take a look at King J. He still has the same items. At least he has gold now.
My god, King J is just...
He blows my mind, that guy, sometimes.
like, he might be a living legend in terms of, like, inventing Dota, Loda-esque.
Yeah, but
like, what was he doing this game? What was he doing in this tournament? Again, like, his performance has not been... I'm not sure whether it has anything to do with his captain role, because he's maybe looking around all over the map and start, you know, telling his team where to go and what to do, and that's definitely something that takes quite a bit away from your concentration skills and last hitting. So I don't want to make a judgment too quickly, but he could be doing a lot better than he is doing.
oh, Mu sees the Crips. Crip is going to get stolen. Yes.
Actually, that's a big deal here. Batrider don't have Firefly for 20 seconds, and they know it because the fire just ran out. And Super says, "Yeah, let's go win, or at least try to do so right now." Look at that Dragonite, BKB, Maelstrom, and Vitali Booster. That's something that we don't see too often. And Fire Form is gonna get popped. Tier 1 tower is gonna get siege. And
Burning Pop the Rage. This is important. Now they have to back up.
They'll back up. They don't. They have a ton of time. They have a ton of time.
Okay, now they wait for the next Rage. Because Burning, without that Rage, if he gets picked off, he dies, and he can possibly die a second time.
Well, Rage is he's back. He's also has he doesn't have Infest either. I'm surprised they're making this push without his ultimate. And here comes perhaps the initiation. They're gonna focus right on QQQ. Han's gonna come down as well. Where's those birds? They're trying to be dropped. Ice Path as well. QQQ just fighting his way out of it. He's gonna get 1 kill. And Super, the BKB Dragon, gonna work. King J goes to the other side of the map. The buyback comes in. Back in a row coming up from Tongfu. Welcome to Chinese Dota. And Tongfu holds.
Tongfu holds. But at what cost?
At 4 buyback, that's the cost.
Yeah.
But they buy themselves time.
They buy themselves times, but they have to pay the price. Now, all those items that were very close, not close enough anymore. Weaver survives with 2.7k, and Hao says, okay, I need to take a break, because this game is getting too heavy for my nerves. 1.3k gold on Spectre. What do you go for? Do you get a bit booster now and try to build the heart? Do you get a Yasha and try to do more damage? Do you go Diffusal and whatever?
You could get a Blink Dagger
Blink Dagger.
and out ROTK. ROTK.
ROTK. I like that idea. It's not gonna work.
You can't out ROTK.
ROTK. No, he's too strong. But how going there? I think he'll get the beat booster. Yes, he gets the beat booster. He says, I'm not going to out damage all those guys, but I might be able to out survive them. And that's sometimes all you need.
Also, he needs to start popping his drum charges. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe he's just forgot about them. Sometimes things like that do happen. Of course, DK, in terms of the Roshan counter, they still have the Aegis. for like a minute or so. I think DK is just playing so passive, more than they need to be, because as Aegis runs out, they saw how those team fights went. It is so lopsided. It is absolutely lopsided, and that's what the Batrider initiating, getting the jump on them. So why not just go now with their ultimates back online, and just, hey man. I don't think they even need the Aegis, to be completely honest.
No, but I mean, that Aegis expiring is worth the buybacks. Now, DK doesn't have an Aegis to fight. I really don't think Tongfu can get the next Roshan, but they will have to. Suddenly it becomes the main priority because next Roshan is cheese.
Yep.
And cheese on DK, you can't stop that.
Yeah, the lucky thing for them is that they have a bit of time till that happens, like 3.5 minutes or so. ROTK just hanging out with Jackie, looking for a jump. Not gonna find anybody though, as the Radiant doing a very good job staying in the cloak of the shadow. How running away up to another 900 gold. He's getting there. Like if he gets to a heart, game gets interesting. Maybe he's gonna pick up Yasha and then go into a AC or not AC, into a Manson instead. King J slowly becoming an issue as well, as he's
ROTK again jumping nowhere. But yeah, I know what you mean. Visage just got a pipe, and that is huge against the Radiant Spectre.
Yeah.
Of course, there's Jakiro, there's other stuff that can burn the pipe away, but that extra 400 HP for everyone, including the creeps that are pushing the wave, can make the big difference here.
All right, there is absolutely no buyback left on the Radiant side, aside from King J, but I don't think King J buying back will turn the tide of the battle. Tier 3 tower quite low. DK thinking about it. Still not making that go. Of course, they're constantly getting better and better item as the game progresses. MMY has a Gold Scepter now. If you look at Bernie, he has a wide assortment of items. He's going to be trying to finish his Abyssal as the game progresses. Of course, Super getting tank, doing DPS, the pipe like you pointed out, and ROTK. Who knows what this guy is saving it for, but he's got 3k go in the bank as well.
He can go for whatever damage items he prefers. He doesn't need to go for more utility items. He has a Chipstick, he has the mech. If he goes for a Desolator, he can help his team a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I like things like maybe Manta to help you send more illusions to the tower to push. BKB is also a fairly decent choice to kind of just stand there and right-click How, because he definitely can 1v1 against ROTK. But again, it's just a decision that I'm not too aware of in terms of why aren't they just getting this tier 3, sieging into tier 3. What are they actually afraid of?
Well, isn't this the tomorrow's final?
In the DSL, yes.
Maybe they're just trying to make the most out of the match to see how Tongfu reacts and use that as preparation for tomorrow.
I mean, I don't think the game is won for sure yet for DK. Like, they're playing against the Spectre, one of the most dangerous late game heroes, and you're giving her more and more room to maybe get up to a Reaver, and that's when things could get a little bit, spicy. They definitely should make an attempt at the push before buyback cools down. And that's
okay, look, sorry, I had to take this pause. Icefrog replied, are you asking about the bounty thing? Because some people asked. Before 678, if hero last hitter gets 452 to 470, you see this. And allies gets 200. If creep last hit, everyone gets 264. And if 770, well, we have the official Icefrog answer right here. The game is back, by the way, but he just replied here, so Icefrog proving you wrong. Again. Never mind. Thank you, Icefrog. I know you're watching.
Look,
so
that guy don't really know what he's talking about, but we'll leave it at that. RTK running into everybody. He's gonna get initiated on. Han comes in right now. RTK getting focused. He's got buyback, so he's just baiting the team right now. The finger goes on King J. King J force staff himself, and now time lapse. He's fine. RTK's back, and everybody's on the run. Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, the flying kick combo is finding King J, and the hex goes off, and they do kill King J. King J also has a buyback, so really no harm, no foul both way, but
I think it's a nice trade. King J for ROTK. If I'm Tongfu, I'd take that every single day of the week.
But here's the thing. You traded 1-for-1, but how's Han's on cooldown? They even destroyed their tier 3 themselves. So it's big trouble time as DK is thinking about winning. Look at ROTK says, uh-oh, how?
Root row.
He's dead. He dead.
He dead.
Yep.
He dead. He no buyback. Banana on the run. Burning, hitting the towers, hitting the buildings. Super is frozen right now, but they don't care. This is a level 16 dragon. They can zone them out. 50 seconds until Spectre comes out. Weaver, he still has the same items as before. He only added an ogre club, which clearly doesn't help him at all. So when he comes back, he will not be able to do anything. ROTK mech is still on cooldown, so they can heal whoever. Burning doesn't even have to turn on his armlet right now. He's just doing the damage that he has.
Yep.
Pipe is popped just for fun.
Did they even use pipe last fight? I didn't even see it.
No, they didn't.
They did? Okay.
And 2 sets of Raxes, DK, Spelling Doom for Tongfu, but Tongfu, they do not want to call
They're not
GG.
going to tap out until they take one more fight with Spectre.
Yes.
So we're not done with this game yet.
We're not done with this game.
Of course, it will be done after Roshan's going to get sieged down.
ROTK is already there because
Dude, ROTK gets a
Can't
demon
wait.
edge, and
He's
that gets
actually
me
waiting
scared.
for the nature. No, he's not waiting for nature's call. ROTK ain't waiting for anything. He just goes and tries to write. And how is like lol, which I'm not sure if he's laughing at his misfortune or promoting a game that's actually easier than this.
So, how do you feel about DK versus Tongfu? Because this is not going to be last of seeing them. Because they're going to be playing a best of 5 tomorrow in the Dota Super League. And is it fair to say that their matchup fairly evening in terms of skill?
I think it's still even. I just don't understand some of Tongfu's decision making in the last 2 games. The game they won, they actually were very, very convincing at winning.
Yeah.
But second game, bit weird. I can't. One would want to blame the Lion because it's the difference between that and everything else. But I can't say it's the Lion because the Lion is the least of the importance. Is it ROTK? Well, clearly it was this game.
Well, we'll talk about that later as move flying with vision with the hatred and looking for everybody. He sees super. You gotta burst him down. 4-staff outward. And wow, look at the drag distance here. He's getting focused by everybody. He pops a BKB, but he really just can't from run. He's trying to tank everybody. He's still alive. He's still alive. And here comes ROTK with Jackie Chan. And it is a wipe on the other direction. Tongfu knows it. Tongfu, ROTK comes to the end to make everybody up because he's bounced. And TK will take it.
Baby. This game is over.
This game is over.
And A3 doesn't even wait. It's like, bam.
He's
So,
done too.
Let's go home. Let's go sleep.
Well, it was an exciting finish in this best of 3 series. It was kind of back and forth when DK picked up the Lifestealer and when Burning was playing the Lifestealer, we were like, uh-oh, this is not going to go well.
Yeah.
They got first bloods, they got multiple kills on the bot lane, and it kind of, DK never looked back, and all because of what? TK teleporting in multiple times, getting a ton of kills. He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Yep.
He sometimes, I still think he's hit and miss. But maybe I can start calling him hit and miss.
Yeah, I think
So-
when he hits so hard that you got to call the police.
Call the police? Well,
Yeah.
let's call the police then.
What a transition.
ROTK definitely outperformed. I've seen him suck some absolute awfulness, but that game he played amazingly on the Nature's Prophet, and they were losing the triple lane at the start, and a little bit of overextension isn't usually punished, but ROTK always in the right place at the right time, even if he is dying and setting up his team for the smooth transition. But I like the play from DK. They played a lot differently than the BO3 match against LGD China. They just straight up just got owned 2 games, no chance. But this game, they put a lot of pressure out on the Spectre. They had constant aggression, and they didn't really overextend. They controlled the map a little bit, and they just played smart overall. And not really relying on burning is a nice change too. So what do you guys think about the matches looking forward?
Well, we have, first of all, DK versus IG.
Yes.
Big match.
Big match is, and again, I can't help but quote TI2 here because this is exactly what we had in TI2.
It's a, did we have this match in the winner's bracket already? We didn't, right? No, we
No.
didn't. No, we didn't.
No, we did not.
So this is the first time in the playoffs, at least, these guys are facing each other.
Right.
Mhm.
I wish I could remember if they were in the same group, but I think they were.
I think they were in the same group.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and clearly IG won that. DK won that one because IG went pretty poorly.
No, they were like 13-1.
What IG?
I'm
IG
talking
and
about
D-
the Alienware Cup.
Oh,
IG and
I-
DK were not in the same.
They were not in the same group?
No,
Okay.
because they were both the winners in the upper bracket, right? DK was
Yes,
winner
you're
of
right.
group,
You're right. So
Group
this
A,
exactly.
and IG was winner of
You're
Group B.
correct, Merlini. So this will be the first time they're playing each other in the Alienware Cup.
Yep.
Mhm.
Should be
Both
exciting.
teams showed some weakness and some strength.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't say I have a favorite. I slightly favor IG.
Yep.
I favor IG too. I think both teams have been a little bit inconsistent lately. Like DK just dropping the ball versus LG China, and then IG just getting crushed by Navi. But in terms of the recent performances, yesterday's performance of IG and today's performance of DK, I think they're both looking pretty good. But I think in their top form, IG is still a better team than DK.
Yes. Yeah, I have to agree with that.
I think DK is on better form, just showing how well they play today, especially
Yes.
showing the versatility. I mean, look at RTK and look at Burning offensive trialing.
Well, I mean, to be fair. it
Wait,
was
hold on.
Yeah.
Is RT gonna show up? Like, which RT gonna show up? If RTA shows up, like the way he showed up today, no questions asked.
He just needs to show up 2 out of 3 games.
Right.
Then he can take a break in between if he wants.
Yeah, you could go off for a game.
And maybe, hopefully, Burning will carry you that game.
Yeah.
But more importantly, next cast, which will not be tomorrow, will be the day after tomorrow, because tomorrow there's the DSL finals. The day after tomorrow, we will not only have DK versus IG, we will also have.
I only get 1 day.
What?
I only get 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's in 1 day. There's the 2
You only, have,
matches.
you only have 1 day off with me, unless you
Oh,
want to cast
okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I was asking about something else, but
No,
continue.
it's,
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine, fine. You will have more than one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe fight a. We'll see.
Are you gonna do it live?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's live.
he's
It's
ha-
gonna be
he has to do
awesome.
that. By the way, Kawa, when we close the stream, we want to hear Lumi's rap. So
Oh,
might be a
yeah.
great
Oh,
idea
God.
to just start sending it on YouTube.
Prepare yourselves.
Can we get audio as well? Because I would.
I would
so
love
much
to hear that.
Enjoy hearing that. Great. So, LGD China versus Navi
I'm just gonna
will
come
be
over. and-
also in 2 days.
I was gonna come over and join you guys.
Yeah.
come here,
You should
come here. Yeah.
This thing's not far enough though.
Here. I'll just like
my mic's not far enough.
be like this.
Well, you don't have a head.
No, I don't. This.
You
this
can move
goes
the
not
whole
wrong.
table.
That's not worth it.
No, I don't think you should move the whole table.
Anyways,
Well, I just saw you're behind. Anyway,
James was just so blown away by ROTK's performance that he was put in a
It just-
WTF Pont coma.
passed away. Yes.
Mhm.
But yeah, Navi versus LG China. 2 teams that have been undefeated so far in the playoffs. That's why they are in the winners bracket. Only one will survive, but that doesn't mean that it will be over. They might find themselves again in the finals of the
I'm
tournament.
gonna predict the whole tournament right here.
Okay, go ahead. Just make it
LGD China beats Navi.
LG China beats Navi.
Navi
Shocker.
goes to loser.
Navi goes to loser and plays against the winner of IGDK, which is
DK.
DK. So Navi DK for the finals. I mean
Of
for
losers.
the loser finals.
Navi beats
Navi beats DK
on the
and
losers.
faces LGD China
Again, rematch.
Ooh, wow.
Navi takes it.
Navi takes it.
Scumbag Navi's
That's
gonna win the
bold.
whole tournament.
And you're not happy about it.
No, I'm a big fan of Navi. I'm
Yeah,
just the
but you're a
scumbag thing
bigger
is just
fan.
the scumbag thing is just like a on camera personality.
Wow,
Come on.
you have no faith in IG either? I thought you were an IG fanboy.
Maybe after I rethink things, after I practice some rap,
Yes.
I'll come up with a different prediction.
Oh.
But
I
right
think-
now,
I think Navi is gonna beat LGD China,
yeah.
and then I think IG is gonna beat DK.
Okay.
So that would leave
LG China and IG.
LGD China and IG. I think IG will beat them.
Uh-huh.
And then it'll
Wow.
be
You're
Navi
predicting
or
the
IG.
exact TI2.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the same 4 teams. Why not?
Yeah. Okay, that's
Mhm.
fair.
Tongfu leaves today. They get $3,000.
Mhm.
Of course, out of the total prize pool of 60,000.
I think pretty good showing for Tongfu.
Very good showing by Tongfu.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they will probably be the team that
Mhm.
will surprise people at TA3. I think
Yeah.
they just need a little bit more of adjusting, especially on King J. I think he's. We talked about how
Right.
Sunsheng is the weakest link of the team.
No, King J
The
definitely.
King J is.
King J.
Yeah, right
He's
now.
like ROTK when he's missing.
Exactly.
He's just missing all the time.
It's like
King
hit and
J's,
miss,
King
miss
J's
and
missing
But
all the
they had
time.
a pretty impressive performance. They took 1 game off IG in the group stage. They also took 1 game off Navi, and I guess a lot of teams
Well,
took a team off.
You would say he's the only team that lost to Navi in the group stage. 1 game. because Navi was
Yes.
1-7.
Yes, but they also took one game in the losers bracket or up one of the brackets. They actually beat them once in a best of
Yeah,
2 out
yeah,
of 3,
and the second game of the
yeah.
winners bracket. Yeah.
so that was pretty impressive by them. I think they showed us that they're a very high tier team, more consistent than the others, and still a little bit flexible. I predict they'll go decently far into TI3.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens.
Wait, what about TI3? What do you guys think? Excluding Alliance?
Wow, it's hard. Well, it all depends. If Navi wins the Alienware Cup, suddenly the Asian Dota is not favorite anymore.
But you can't just go off this.
Yeah,
They-
of course
they
you
said
can't
they-
go
the
off.
group
What
stage-
can I go
Group
off?
stage, okay?
What can I go off? Like the group stage of TI3?
One group stage of this tournament, they were 1-7.
Group
No,
stage
they
don't mean
don't
any.
count.
Don't mean anything.
It's just sitting.
yeah, group stage.
No
don't
one
mean
gets eliminated. Look at IG and DK. They end up
Yeah.
first in their groups. They lose to the last in their groups. LGD China and
Yeah.
Navi, last in their groups, are in the winners bracket finals. Group stage means nothing.
Even if Navi wins this, I still wouldn't pick them as a favorite for TI3, even if Alliance is excluded. I mean, they've shown that they're a pretty strong team, but again, the plague of inconsistency is really difficult for me to overcome, especially in a really
Hey.
long format.
You only need to be consistent on 5 days,
That's
or
true.
maybe like 3 last days.
I'm calling it here. Mouse TI3 champions.
Oh shit! Well, you have
Bam.
to. You do your prediction for
That-
Alienware Cup
That's
first.
deep.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for Alienware
Okay,
Cup? At
IG
least. For the
no,
coming-
I can do everything. IG versus DK. IG takes it. Navi versus LGD China. Navi takes it, but takes them like 4 hours.
A little bit sarcastic, that one.
Like, it will take them such a long time
Right.
that we will beat viewer records just out of people that forget about the stream and go to it and go do something, because it will last so long that people will fall asleep
Right.
for half of the match.
Okay.
Hopefully not, but you know. Then we get LGD China versus IG.
Versus DK.
And I think that is the key
It's versus
match.
DK.
No.
I said IG beats DK.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
IG beats DK, Navi beats LGD China.
Alright.
We get LGD China versus IG, and this is where it goes different from TI2, because LGD China beats IG
IG.
easily.
Easily.
Easily. Easily,
Dang.
no problemo.
Okay.
So 2-0, 60 minutes total.
Yes, something like that. Surprisingly, because LGD China gets to win the lanes.
Not surprising for you, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it surprised me yesterday in the dream when I saw this.
I see.
And I woke up sweating and flabbergasted.
Bruno the Prophet, forget stats, man.
Right. That's the next thing. Guessing
Bruno
the
the
stats
Prophet.
of games to pass.
Oh.
That'd be really nice.
Oh my god.
And then finally, we get to Navi versus IG.
Mm-hmm.
Navi wins the first game.
Okay. It's a best of 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, scratch that. IG wins the first game. It's a long, tough battle. Navi gets the next 2 by IG mistakes.
Okay.
Navi gets overconfident. IG played
You mean
the
LGD? Because
Sorry, I'm talking. Sorry, let's go back. LGD gets the first game.
Your dream
Sorry,
is pretty hazy right now.
I'm trying.
Your dream is pretty hazy.
Sorry, it's always fuzzy in there. LGD China wins the first game.
Okay.
It's very long, very LGD Chinese.
Right.
Navi wins the next 2 out of LGD China's mistake.
Okay.
They get overconfident.
Right.
LGD China destroys Navi in game 4.
Right.
Navi is on shambles. Puppy starts to cry. There's a webcam and we can actually see that. We get footage of Navi crying in China.
Okay.
Jendi is like, I will draft this game.
Oh shit.
And he drafts. And he gives everyone what they want. Funny gets the bone clings that he never gets to play since he was an Empire. Puppy gets his Chen.
Right.
Arsard gets Crystal Maiden.
There's no R.
Why not, right?
Wait, Arsar's
There's no Arzar.
Arzar's in the
That's
team?
Kuroki.
What the fuck are you dreaming?
Kuroki.
What kind of visions are you getting right now?
Kuroki gets Rubik. That's easy.
Kuroki doesn't want to play Rubik. He wants to play like Queen of Bay mid.
Kuroki gets Lycan.
Okay.
It's fine. So we get a Lycan and a Chen. Because why not? Who am I missing? Havos. Havos gets to play.
Support CM.
No.
Space Cow.
No. That's for Dendi. Dendi goes Space Cow mid.
Okay.
Afra is like, what? And he loses because he picks Dragon Knight mid. That loses to everything, including the Space Cow. Navi takes it 3-2. Bam! Fireworks in China. Happy 4th of July. And
That is the best profit vision. That
Previous level.
preview. That is so previous level.
You'd
Okay.
pay to see that match.
All right.
You would buy the ticket.
Well,
I would buy the ticket to see that match.
I think we're a little bit tired here at the Beyond the Summit. Things went a little bit
We're
past
just waking
schedule,
up.
unfortunately, due to Perfect World server issues. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We had a pretty good 2 round of 3s today, best of 3s. Congratulations to DK, and who was the winner of the first one? Who was the winner of the first match? I forgot. It's
What?
been so long now. Who's the
Really?
winner of the first match?
IG.
IG, okay, yeah. Congratulations to IG and DK. I guess we'll see them in a couple of days. Unfortunately, we're on break tomorrow for the DSL Grand Finals, but we'd like to thank our sponsors, Alienware Cup. Please follow them on Twitter, Facebook, or alienwarecup.com, or you can support us through buying the in-game ticket. Unfortunately, there are some sort of audio issues, but it is always worth it to watch through player perspective, and we'd also like to thank dpmlicious, our organizer, for making all this possible. And Bruno, would you
Sorry,
like
I don't want to. I will leave you the last word. I don't mean
No,
to
you can go
interrupt.
for it.
I don't want to
No.
Kanye West you.
you go for it.
But what's your Twitter, Lumi?
At luminousinverse.
So I plugged my Twitter already, so I'm not going to do it again. But you can send it to my Twitter. You can send to his Twitter.
Prophet Bruno.
No, you can send suggestions
For the refs?
for
Oh
Lumi.
my god.
You can just go right now.
I
It
have
has
one-
to be
That'd be awesome.
PG-13. We can't say things like poop, for example.
I have one in mind. Can I choose one? If you like it.
I just want people to recommend. I mean, you get to choose the final one, but I want you to have a
The
great
selection.
array of
Okay.
selection.
You
All
can
right.
make it PG-13. You can use like gosh darn.
Yeah,
Gosh darn.
Yeah.
we can bleep you.
Gosh darn.
Gosh darn.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at luminousinverse, my Twitter, Merlini's Twitter as well.
So we'll close it out with Luminous's rap. Yeah, a preview of
Are
what's
we
to
ready,
come.
Kawa?
Please give us
Are we
suggestions.
ready?
It's going to be the most amazing YouTube video. Probably better than Blitz's riding a bike. It's going to be legendary. Roll it, Kawa.